seated on our mat. Simple cross-legged position. We'll sit up straight and tall, so we're lengthening through our spine. We'll allow the back of our wrist to rest on our knees. Our palms are open to the sky, open to receiving. And we'll begin by closing our eyes, breathing in through our nose and exhaling through our mouths. Bringing awareness into our bodies and connecting with our breath. With each inhale, really filling our lungs with air, finding a little bit more space. And with each exhale, finding release. Releasing tension from our bodies, clearing our minds. We'll just take 2 more inhales. Next breath, we'll inhale, reach your arms all the way up toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, folding forward. And walking our hands over to the right side, taking another inhale for length, on the exhale, fold. And then walking our hands over to the left side, again, inhale for length, exhale, fold. Coming back through the center, we'll walk our hands back toward ourselves. Take a big wide inhale, reaching our arms up. And on the exhale, bringing our left hand to our right knee, bringing the right arm behind our back. Inhale, lengthening our spine. On the exhale, twist and look over the right shoulder. Then inhale back up through center. On the exhale, switching sides, right hand to left knee. Inhale for length, exhale, twist and look over the left shoulder. Inhaling back up through center. On the exhale, dropping the right arm, reaching over with the left, so we lengthen to the left side. Maybe even walking our bottom hand out a little bit further, find a little bit more length and space, keeping your hip bones on the mat. And then bend the left elbow, reaching toward the right shoulder, twist and look up toward the ceiling. Good. Keeping that left arm bent, we'll inhale to the center. Take the right arm, reach behind, see if you can catch your fingers. Inhale again for length, and on the exhale, begin to fold forward. And if you can't keep that bind, it's okay, you can release. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, switch sides, dropping the left arm, reaching over with the right. Big lengthening stretch through the right side. Maybe walk your bottom hand out a bit further. Maybe bend the right elbow, reaching toward the left shoulder, twisting and looking up toward the ceiling. And then keep that right elbow bent. Inhale, lift your chest, sweep the left arm behind. See if you can bind here. Take another inhale, and the exhale, begin to fold forward. Good. Inhale, reaching your arms all the way overhead. On the exhale, we'll press our palms to heart center. Then releasing our hands to our knees, we'll inhale, draw the chest forward, looking up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, pull your navel to your spine, rounding through your back. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, navel to spine. We'll take take 2 more breaths for our seated cat-cow. And on your next inhale, draw your chest forward, then rock over to the right, sinking toward the back edge on the exhale, and then over to the left. Inhale, draw your chest forward, big circles here, stomach grinds. And then try those circles in reverse. We'll take 2 more rotations here. And we'll meet back up in a neutral spine, taking a big inhale, reaching our arms up. Exhale, again, pressing our palms to heart center, sweeping our hands along our sides. On the inhale, we'll lift our hips and roll our shoulder blades back and look up toward the ceiling. Good. And then release, we'll come back to a seat. We'll tuck our knees into our chest, cross our ankles, and then roll forward so we come into a tabletop position on our mats. Tabletop position, we'll take a few cat-cows here. Might be a little bit more open now that we have the seated variation. So we'll drop our belly in the inhale, look up. And on the exhale, pull our navel to our spine. Inhale, lift our chest. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, navel to spine. 2 more breaths. Coming back through neutral, we'll straighten the right leg, press the tip of our toes onto the edge of the mat, sinking our weight back so we stretch through the left calf. Then lifting the left leg, reaching forward with the right, we'll take an inhale, reaching as far forward as we can. On the exhale, bring your knee and elbow together beneath you. Inhale for length, exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. We'll take 2 more breaths. And the last one, bend the left knee, reach back with your right hand, catch your foot, kicking that foot into your hand, lifting your chest. And then release. Right back through tabletop position. We'll switch sides. Straightening to the right leg, press the tip of your toes onto the edge of the mat, sinking your weight back to stretch through your right calf. And lifting your right leg, reach forward with the left arm, big inhale here. And on the exhale, bring your knee and elbow together beneath you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale for length. Exhale, crunch. 2 more breaths. And on the last one, reaching back with the left hand, catch your right ankle and kick that foot into your hand. We'll lift your chest. And then release. Right back to tabletop position. We'll tuck our toes, lift our hips, press right up into downward dog. You can bend one knee or the other, finding some space here, stretching and opening through your hamstrings. You can twist through your shoulders a few times. Then look to the front of your mat and step or hop to bring your feet between your hands. On the inhale, lifting your chest, and on the exhale, folding forward. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way back up to standing. Taking a big inhale, reaching your arms overhead. And on the exhale, pressing your palms to heart center. Take a big inhale again, reach our arms all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward, sweeping our arms behind our backs, interlacing our fingers, coming to a forward fold with bind. Good. Then release that bind, reaching your hands down toward your toes. We'll inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then placing your hands on the mat, we'll step or hop back into a plank, hugging our elbows into our sides for chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, right back to downward dog. Taking a few breaths here. Again, you can bend one knee or the other. Find some length and space. Then on the inhale, lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling for three-legged dog. On the exhale, bend the right knee and bring it over toward your left elbow. Inhale all the way back up, three-legged dog. On the exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, stepping forward between your hands. We'll flatten through our back heel. On the inhale, reach your arms up, warrior one. And on the exhale, warrior two, bringing your arms out to the sides. Then flipping your right palm, reach forward, up and back for reverse triangles, straightening through the front leg. And on the exhale, cartwheel your right arm forward, come down to your shin or the mat for triangle. And if you can't quite reach the mat, you can just come to your shin, or you can use a yoga block here. Good. Wherever you're at, begin to bend through your front knee. Place your hand on the mat, reaching forward with the left arm. And if you can't quite get this deep, you can rest your forearm on your right knee. Here or here. And then dropping your left hand to the mat, we'll step back into a plank. Hug our elbows into our sides, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your chest, upward dog. And on the exhale, right back to downward dog. Again, we're taking a few breaths here. Find a little more space, sink a little bit deeper. And on the inhale, we'll lift the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the left knee to the right elbow. Inhale all the way back up, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale all the way back up one more time through the center, stepping between your hands. We'll flatten through our back heel for warrior one on the inhale, reaching our arms up. And on the exhale, warrior two, bringing your arms out to the sides. Then flipping your left palm, reach forward, up and back, reverse triangle, lengthening to the front leg. And then cartwheel your left arm forward, coming down to your shin or the mat for triangle, reaching up with the right arm. And again, you can use a yoga block here if you can't get your hand all the way down. Good. Bending to the left knee, reaching forward with the right arm. Good. For extended side angle. Then dropping your right hand to the mat, we'll step back into our plank. Hugging our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting your hips, pressing back to downward dog. Okay, on the inhale, lift the right leg, again, all the way back up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow. This time, lower it to your left wrist, pull it back up to your elbow, and then bring it all the way back up toward the ceiling on the inhale. On the exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow, down to the wrist, back up to the elbow, and then all the way up behind you. One more time, we'll come through the center, lower it to the mat, pull it back up. On the inhale, all the way back up toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, bring that right foot behind the left, bend through the left knee, and sink back into that right heel. Step back into your downward dog. On the inhale, lifting the left leg all the way up. On the exhale, bring the left knee to your right elbow underneath you. Lower it to the mat. Lift it back up. All the way back up on the inhale. And on the exhale, left knee, left elbow. Lower it to the mat. Lift it back up. Inhale all the way back up. And one more time through the center. Lower to the mat. Back up toward your nose. Inhale, back up to your three-legged dog, and then sweep the left ankle behind the right, bending the right knee and sinking back. Good. Stepping your feet back to parallel. Inhale again, lift the right leg all the way up. Exhale, step forward between your hands. This time lowering the back knee onto the mat, walking your hands up to the front knee. And on the inhale, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. Then interlace your fingers, flip your palms, find a little more space. Maybe add in a slight back bend here. And on the exhale, bringing your hands back to the mat, straighten through the front leg for a half split. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, begin to fold forward over the right leg. And if your hamstrings are really tight, try pointing and flexing the right foot a few times. Maybe wiggling your toes side to side. And maybe even begin to slide your right foot forward. See if you have any more space today to sink a little bit deeper toward a split. Try to keep your hips square here. Inhale again, lengthen through your spine. On the exhale, fold forward over the right leg. And then release. Slide the right leg back in. Bend your knee, heel toe your foot to the edge of the mat. Bring your hands onto the inside of that leg, and then maybe come down onto your left forearm or both forearms. Then take your right hand, press against the inside edge of your right thigh, twist and look up over the right shoulder. Maybe reach back with your right hand, see if you can catch your left ankle. Twist and look over the right shoulder. Good, and then release. Bring your hands back to the mat. We'll step back into our plank. Hug our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, lifting your hips, pressing back to downward dog. You're just taking a few breaths here. On the inhale, lifting the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. On the exhale, stepping forward between your hands. Lower through our back knee, walking our hands up to our front knee. Inhale, reaching our arms all the way up toward the ceiling. Interlacing our fingers again, we'll flip our palms, lifting our chest. And on the exhale, bringing our hands back to the mat, straightening to the left leg. We'll point and flex a few times to that left foot. And inhale, lengthen our spine. And on the exhale, folding forward over the left leg. Inhale, lifting your chest. Maybe try sliding that left foot forward. See if you can find any more space here, keeping your hips square. A little bit deeper. And inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, begin to fold over the left leg. Then release, lifting your chest, slide that left leg back in, bend to the knee, heel toe your foot till it comes to the edge of the mat. Bring your hands under the inside of that left leg, maybe come down onto the right forearm, or both. Maybe even take your left hand, press against the inside edge of your left thigh, twist and look up over the left shoulder. Maybe even reach back with your left hand, bend the right knee and see if you can catch your foot, twist and look a little deeper. And bring your hands back to the mat. We'll step back into our plank. Hug our elbows into our sides. Chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting the chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, lifting the hips, pressing back to downward dog. On the inhale, we'll lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling. Exhale, step forward between our hands. We'll pivot on our heels so that we face the side of our mat. Walk our hands forward, and on the inhale, lift our chest. On the exhale, begin to fold forward. And then walk your hands underneath you and press the top of your head onto the mat if you have the space. And if you want to take this moment to press up into a tripod headstand, you can. Think of creating a triangle base with your hands on the top of your head, and then shift the weight onto the top of your head to lift your legs all the way up toward the ceiling. And then you can come back down to the mat. We'll reach our arms wide, see if we can catch the outside edges of our feet. Inhale, lengthen our spine. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Walk your hands over to the right side. If you can reach the outside edge of your right foot with your left hand, try sweeping the right arm behind your back and see if you can catch the inside of your left thigh. And then switch sides, bringing your hands over to the left side. You can catch the outside of your left foot, sweep the left arm behind you, and see if you can catch your right thigh. And then release. Bring your hands back to the mat. We'll hop our feet back in parallel, hips width apart. We'll inhale, lengthen our spine. On the exhale, fold. Good. And walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Step your feet back into downward dog. And take your right hand and reach toward your left ankle and twist, looking under the left arm up toward the ceiling. You can bend through your right knee if you need to, or you can even play with taking that right foot off of the ground and find your balance here. Good. And then bring your right hand back to the mat. Try switching sides. Take your left hand, reach toward your right ankle. Twist and look under the right arm. Again, you can bend your left knee to find a little more space to twist, or you can try lifting that left foot off of the mat. And then release. Bringing your hands back to your downward dog. We'll shift our weight forward, hug our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog. Take a moment here to lower your thighs onto the mat, untuck your toes, soften through your elbows, and then just rock your hips side to side. And come back through neutral, tuck your toes, lift your hips, press right back into your downward dog. On the inhale, lift the right leg all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. Bending to the right knee, we'll bring it underneath us over toward our left elbow. And if you want to play with adding in an arm balance here, you can. So you have some options here. Otherwise, we'll just tap that elbow. Then on the inhale, all the way back up through three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow and maybe play with an arm balance on this side. And then all the way back up through three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, stepping forward between your hands. Again, flatten through your back heel, and on the inhale, warrior one. And on the exhale, warrior two. Bring your arms out to the sides. Then straighten through your front leg, reach as far forward as you can. Maybe come back down to your shin or to the mat, reaching up with the left arm for triangle. Then drop your left hand to the mat or to the outside edge of your right foot, reaching up with the right arm for revolved triangle. And then cartwheel all the way back up into reverse warrior, bending to the front knee, reaching up with that top arm, lengthening to the right side. Maybe even sweep the left arm past and find that right thigh. Good, let's sweep that right arm forward and maybe see if you can bind here. Bound side angle. Twisting and looking up over your left shoulder. And if you were able to find that bind, see if you can step that left foot up, shift the weight onto your left foot, and maybe come to standing for bird of paradise. Yay. And then lower back down slowly, stepping back into your bound side angle. And then bring your hands back to the mat. We'll step back into our plank. Hug our elbows into our sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lifting your chest for upward dog. And on the exhale, right back to downward dog. So just taking a few breaths here. You can wiggle your toes, twist through your shoulders, really sinking nice and deep. Then on the inhale, lifting your left leg all the way up, three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring the left knee toward your right elbow and maybe come to an arm balance here. All the way back up on the inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. And again, if you want to throw in an arm balance here, you can. Inhale all the way back up. One more time, step forward between your hands. Flatten through your back heel, warrior one. And on the exhale, warrior two. Then straightening to the front leg, reaching as far forward as you can with that left arm. Come down to your shin or to the mat for triangle. And dropping the right hand to the mat or the outside edge of your left foot, reaching up with the left arm for revolved triangle. Then bend your left knee, cartwheel your arms all the way back for reverse warrior. Maybe even stick the right arm behind your back, see if you can catch the left thigh. Then sweep the left arm down toward the mat. See if you can bind here. And if you were able to bind, step that right foot forward and see if you can come to standing for your bird of paradise. Maybe straighten to the left leg. And then slowly lower back down to the mat. We'll release that bind. Place your hands on the mat. Step back into your plank. Put your elbows into your chest. Chaturanga. Inhale, lifting your chest, upward dog. And on the exhale, spread your knees wide and sink back into a child's pose. Good. Press your palms together. Bend your elbows and bring your thumbs toward the back of your neck. Then release your hands, walk your hands over to the left side. And then walk your hands over to the right side. Then come back through the center. Bring your forearms to parallel, lift your hips, tuck your toes, and press up into dolphin. And you can stay here, take a few breaths here. You can try walking your toes a little bit closer. If you're working on your forearm stands and you want to play with shifting your weight onto your forearms, you can. And then straighten through your arms to come right back into your downward dog. Take an inhale with the right leg, bring it all the way up toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. On the exhale, sweep the right leg forward and come right into pigeon. So when you're perfect pigeon, the top of your right shin would be parallel with the front of the mat. But if that causes you to roll out on and open up to that left hip. Pull that right leg back in just enough so that you have that left thigh pressing onto the mat. And inhale to lengthen through your spine, and on the exhale, fold forward over the right leg. And if you have a yoga mat that's a little bit slippery, you can trap this right elbow, or this right foot with your left elbow so that it won't slide. And then rest your forehead on your right forearm. And on the inhale, lifting your chest, bend the left knee, see if you can catch your left foot. Then reach up with the right arm and maybe see if you can catch your fingers. And if none of that's happening, just catch your foot, or try catching your foot with the opposite hand. Kind of play with this a little bit. You can make this into a back bend. And then release, bring your hands back to the mat, step back into your plank, hug your elbows into your sides, chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, lift your chest for upward dog, and on the exhale, right back to downward dog. Taking a few more breaths here. Lengthen your spine a little bit more, find more space. And on the inhale, lift the left leg all the way up. On the exhale, sweep that left leg forward and come into pigeon on the left. So again, you want the top of your right thigh pressing onto the mat. If you have the space, bring your left shin a little closer to the front of the mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine, and on the exhale, folding forward over the left leg. You can use your left arm to rest your forehead. You can catch that left foot with your right elbow, just to kind of trap it. Then lifting your chest, you can bend the right knee, see if you can catch your foot with your right hand. Maybe pull it into your elbow if you have space. Maybe reach up and over with the left arm. See if you can catch your fingers. Or you can catch that right foot with the left hand. See if you can bring it into a back bend. And then release, sweep the right leg forward, coming into staff pose, so our legs are straight. We're sitting up straight and tall, so we're lengthening through our spine. We'll inhale, we'll reach our arms up toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, folding forward, reaching toward our toes. Inhale to lengthen the spine, exhale, fold a little bit deeper. And then release. We'll slide our hips forward, bring our arms along the sides of the mat, extend our legs up toward the ceiling. We'll inhale, we'll lift our toes all the way overhead, reaching with our arms, see if we can catch our big toes with our fingers, and then spread our feet a little bit wider so they come just wider than the edges of the mat. Tucking your chin into your chest,
Straightening through your arms and legs, folding overhead. See if you can keep that bind with your toes and then rock forward into boat. Oh, maybe. So all the way overhead, rocking forward, and find your boat pose. And then release your arms. Oh, maybe. Bring your arms along your sides, toes extending up toward the ceiling. Finding your balance here in Navasana, boat pose. And then lower down into a low boat, drawing your navel to your spine. Then tuck your right knee into your chest, lower the left leg onto the mat, allow the back of your head to rest on the mat, and then pull the right knee over to the left side, but keep your shoulders on the mat. Twist and look over the right shoulder. Then pull the right knee over to the left side. Reaching out with the left arm. Again, shoulders stay on the mat. And if you've got a lot of flexibility here, you can straighten through that right leg. So that's another option. You can wrap your fingers around your big toe. Or you can catch the inside of that heel or the outside of that foot. And then look over your left shoulder. Come back through the center, taking a moment to square off your hips, pulling your shin toward your nose. See if you can find a little bit more space here. And again, if your hamstrings are tight, try pointing and flexing your right foot. Maybe rubbing that tight hamstring. See if there's any more space here. Then we're going to bend the right knee, place it on top of the left thigh, grab the front of our left shin, and just rock gently side to side. And if you want a little bit deeper stretch here, take your right elbow, press it against the inside of that right thigh, find a little more room here. Good, then keep that connection. Lower your left foot to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, and then just drop your knees over to the left side, keeping your shoulders on the mat, adding in a little bit of a twist here. Then tuck your knees into your chest, rock gently side to side. Then straighten to the right leg. Take your left knee, bring it over to the right side. Reaching out with the left arm, twisting and looking over the left shoulder. Make sure you keep your shoulders on the mat. Then opening up to that left knee, bringing it over to the left side. Again, shoulders are on the mat. And if you've got any more space, you can straighten to that left leg, grabbing that foot any way you would like. So outside, edge of your foot, maybe grabbing your heel, maybe peace fingers around your big toe. And then you'll look over the right shoulder. Then bring that left leg back through the center, squaring off your hips, pulling your left shin toward your nose, keeping that right leg on the ground, And again, if you've got tight hamstrings, again, you can rub that hamstring, or you can point and flex your left foot and find a little more space here. Okay, and then bending your left knee. You're going to place it on top of your right thigh, hugging the right knee in toward your chest. Maybe rocking gently side to side. Maybe taking your left hand or left elbow and press it against the inside of your left knee and find a little more space here. Good. And keep that connection and just drop your knees over to the right side. Inhale, reach your arms overhead so that you lengthen through your entire body here. Okay. Then tuck your knees into your chest, grab the outside edges of your feet, and rock gently side to side for happy baby. Or you can rock forward and back a few times. Kind of play with this a little bit. Good. Then lower your feet to the mat, bring your arms along your sides, and on the inhale, press your hips up toward the ceiling, rolling your shoulder blades under for a low bridge. If you have the space, you can interlace your fingers underneath you. Press your hips a little bit higher. Then lower your hips back down to the mat. You can press up into one more bridge, or you can press up into a full wheel, pressing your hands on the mat. On the inhale, you'll lift your hips. Full wheel. Maybe walk your feet a little bit closer to your hands. Bend your elbows. Again, one more time, tuck your knees into your chest. This time we'll make big circles with our knees on the ceiling. And then take those circles in reverse. Good. Lower your feet to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, drop your knees side by side. Reach your arms a little bit higher if you have any more space. Good. Then straightening through your legs, give yourself a big inhale here. Just lengthen everything back out. Big deep inhale, and on the exhale, we'll bring our arms along our sides, allow our feet to fall out to the sides. We'll close our eyes, making any last minute adjustments from here. Clearing our minds, taking the last few moments to melt into our mats for Shavasana. Again, just noticing any tension you might have remaining in your body. See if you can actively release it. Clearing your mind, being exactly here in this present moment, feeling the weight of your body on your mat. And resting in Shavasana. Shavasana, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes. And take a moment to tuck your knees into your chest. Maybe roll to your right side and take a moment to rest on the right. You can use your arm as sort of a pillow to support your head. Then gradually make your way back to a seat on your mat. And you can sit in a simple cross-legged pose like I am. If your hips are a little bit more open and you want to come to a half lotus or a full lotus, you're more than welcome to. So these are just some options for you. Otherwise you can stay where I'm at. We'll allow the back of our wrist to rest on our knees. Closing our eyes. Take a moment here to give gratitude for this opportunity to move and practice in our bodies. Being able to continue with our practice even while we are all away from each other, all separated or in quarantines. Let's take one last deep inhale, reaching our arms overhead, lengthening through our spine. And on the exhale, press our palms to heart center. Thank you for joining me. It was my honor and privilege to guide you in your practice. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day, and namaste.